Gentlemen, welcome to the Pride of Detroit PODcast. PrideOfDetroit.com, Pride of Detroit on Twitter, Pride of Detroit on Facebook. You know where to find us. Before we get to anything, though, let me ladle this McFlurry on here. Come on, get off the spoon. Do you have yours, Ryan?
I do have mine. But for the people who are listening at home, Chris is putting McFlurry on a burger per instruction.
On a McDouble. Per instruction from one Jameson Williams, who caught a touchdown that helped start up the Lions' comeback in this game as they came back from down 26-14 to win 31-26 over the stinky ass, miserable, stupid Bears. And for that, I raised this burger, which is now dripping with melting Oreo McFlurry.
Please eat it. Just eat the damn thing.
All right.
Where's yours, Ryan? Eat it.
I'll wait for the break.
I'll
wait for the break.
You're just going to wait for it to melt. Wow. All right.
I can barely taste the McFlurry in it.
In the meantime,
this is great podcast.
Okay, all right. We don't need you to talk through it.
All right. Well, since I'm eating this burger, Jeremy Reisman, fearless leader at Detroit Online. I'm Chris Perfett, at Chris Perfett on Twitter. Jeremy Reisman's at Detroit Online. Ryan Matthews, the Rock God, at Ryan_POD. Jeremy, immediate thoughts from a Lions comeback victory, which before this game, I think on our last podcast, I said the last box I wanted checked off from the Lions was to see if they could pull themselves out of a hole. We'll have more on that, but you start while I eat this JMO order.
Yeah, well, thanks for that monkey pawing, Chris. I would have preferred a comeback win against, I don't know, like the Cowboys or something like that. Maybe not falling 12 points behind the Chicago Bears in the fourth quarter. But listen, I mean, I was trying to tell anyone who would listen that the Chicago Bears were not going to be an easy out today. I don't care if it was at home. I don't care if it was coming off an emotional win against the Chargers. It's a divisional game, but more than that, this Bears team is not bad. They're a good defensive football team. They can stop the run. They can run the ball. And I think the most shocking part about the game is that if you're talking about conventional run games, the Lions actually did run the ball quite well, and they did stop the run quite well when it comes to the running backs, and yet still found themselves in a humongous hole. And so, I don't know, on a day in which your defense gives up some big plays, on a day in which Jared Goff just completely loses his mind and throws 3 interceptions for the first time in his Lions career, if you can survive all of that and come out on the other end with a win, celebrate it. I know there are going to be Lions fans that are like, I don't know, this team doesn't look very good, whatever. Celebrate it. This team is 8-2. It's the first time since 1962. It's and listen, like, wins just don't come easy in this league. A lot of good teams lose to bad teams. It happens, and the Lions avoided that happening today. So celebrate. Let out a Dan Campbell primal scream.
Yeah.
Eat your McDoubles with McFlurries all over it.
Yeah, celebrate accordingly.
Final verdict, Ryan? Have you taken a bite yet?
I have. I kombucha girled it a little bit, but I mean, honestly, what's bad about it? You know what I mean? It's a cheeseburger. It's an Oreo McFlurry. I guess a lot like the Lions win today, even though it's messy and gross and for all intents and purposes
doesn't make sense.
Shouldn't make any sense.
Certainly not good for anybody's health.
Right, but you know what? We're having a good time.
Go nuts every now and then. Go nuts every now and then. Be yourself. Be your best self. Right, Ryan?
That was poetic. That was poetic.
The Lions, we were prepared to do something very different, I'm sure. I'm sure Lions fans had a lot of something to say very different. And I think some of those complaints maybe don't go away. I still think even in a loss, some of those complaints would have been overblown or maybe going to the wrong person. Yes, the defense is struggling. Jared Goff also played one of his worst games, and the Lions were -4 in the turnover battle.
-2.
Actually, -3.
-2.
Up until the sack safety.
Yes.
Strip sack safety.
Correct.
3 of those came from Jared Goff, 1 from Craig Reynolds on a kickoff return. 3 interceptions from Jared Goff. And honestly, let's be honest, maybe you should have 2 more, including one that Jalen Johnson could have picked and taken 100 yards the other way.
Yep.
But even with the Lions defense, struggling to contain a revitalized Justin Fields, who came back and immediately started hammering the ball against one of the best run defenses in this league alongside the Detroit Lions, along with Jared Goff having probably the worst performance we have seen him have in the last 2 years, if not 3 years. The Lions still found a way to dig out from 6 feet under into this. My dad took his dog out to walk at 3.5 minutes to go in this game and came back with the Lions winning. It was the last thing I really wanted to see the Lions do, is come from behind in a match like this. And Jeremy, you said it. Divisional games are tough. They are rough. You see each other twice every year. They know you, you know them. And the Bears, Justin Fields, have done things to these Lions teams in the past. I know Lions fans see it as the Bears and they suck. But a win is a win is a win. You're not trying to impress the AP poll. You're not going for style points. All that matters is you pick up the win. And I know some Lions fans were trying to come to me and say, like, well, now they've given up 6 consecutive drives in touchdowns. But that each game is a self-contained thing. There are some problems that carry over in between them. But the big thing for the Lions is you escape and add another win to the pile in a top-heavy competitive division. You escape with that, and it really is an escape. You work on the problems you have on a short week, and you just prepare to empty those mistakes and not have them show up again as you prepare for Thanksgiving. Now you've made some real headlines. Now you've shown the sparks. Now you've shown what Jared Goff can do with a short clock, what his offense can do with a short clock. The defense, if you want to criticize them, go ahead, but they turned around and stopped the Bears on about, what was it, only 5 plays after that? And it's right back in the offense's hand. And what happens after that too? A strip sack safety to end the game from Aiden Hutchinson. 8-2. You said it, Jeremy. Haven't seen this in a long time. Long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. This team, I hate to fall back on some like coach speak cliches, but resilient is the word of the day apparently. And yeah, this team has been resilient. Jared Goff is resilient. And that's the one thing that I think the Lions have tried to tell us time and time again, is that Jared Goff is a guy who may make mistakes, but he's typically not going to let them snowball. And it looked like they were snowballing today, admittedly, but the man goes 10 of 12 in the final 2 drives of the game, 100-plus yards and a touchdown. Just ice in his veins, man. Just absolutely never wavered, never held his head down, none of that sort of stuff. And that's who he's been really since he's been here. You know, that whether you're talking big picture, this team starts 0-10-1, Jared Goff stays the same. Whether it's the next year, they start 1-6, he has a bunch of turnovers, Jared Goff is the same. And so you get to this game, through 3.5 quarters, Jared Goff is the worst version of himself. Never thrown 3 interceptions as a Detroit Lion until today. And what does he do? Same guy. Level
yeah, and again, not all of those interceptions were completely on him. There was that one that should have been PI. There was the pick play. What's that? Yes, most of it was. I will not doubt that. Trust me. I think I'm not going to praise Jared Goff again, because apparently last time I finally broke down and praised Jared Goff last game, and suddenly he's throwing 3 picks. But resilient is right, Ryan, and I hate to do this because I think it's a little unfair, but I do. Is there still, Ryan, in that point in your mind where you sit there and think, and you scratch it and think, when we talk about the dichotomy of the Lions, the ontology of the Lions, we talk about years past, and it's hard to think of too many times where this happens, where the Lions just fall short of these kind of comebacks, that this team, so full of personality, so full of all leaders on all kinds of the ball, have that intangible to get themselves over these kind of humps, to like not count themselves out in these kind of games and just show their fire when it's all in the line.
Yeah, I mean, they laid it all out there. I mean, there was a point in the game, right as the Lions got that ball back down 12, and 98.8% chance the Chicago Bears were going to win this football game, according to ESPN analytics. And in the back of my mind and on Twitter, I was openly opining, there's a football game on Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, there's part of me that was thinking big picture, right?
Cut your losses. Yeah.
But this team refused to think beyond the task at hand. You know what I mean? And this team, you know, as Dan Campbell said, resilient as hell, man. And, you know, the last time that the Lions were, I guess you can, consider them like the cardiac cats, right? You think all the way back to that 2016 season, right?
Yep.
I mean, where virtually every game was a come from behind victory. And let me tell you this, you know, to Jeremy's point earlier about the Chicago Bears being, you know, a pretty good defense, you know what I mean? In terms of their ability to stop the run, you know, they played the Lions tough. They played them real tough today.
Yep.
And I think that all that being said, you know, one of the things that I thought I knew back on Thursday was that the Bears would cover. But it's a divisional game, right? And it's the NFL, right? You know, like, these games are going to be tough. No game is going to be easy, especially now that the Lions are not the ones that are hunting. You know, the Lions are the ones that are being hunted.
Yep.
You know, the Bears can go down swinging. The Bears can throw the kitchen sink at Detroit, and they, again, like to Dan Campbell, the very first press conference, you know, you're gonna hit us and you're gonna knock us down, and we're gonna get up, we're gonna be smiling, and we're gonna be ready to take on the task at hand. And, you know, I think the thing that's most impressive about this game, right, is one of the questions that we had coming into this game, coming into the past few weeks, is how can this team respond if they're trailing and they need to score points in a hurry, right? I don't care what defense it is. With the amount of time that was left on that clock and with the situation that was at hand, the Lions answered the bell, man. They answered the bell in a huge way.
They had no margin for error. Zero.
Zero. None.
And so, yeah, you not only do you drive 70 yards twice, but you get a defensive stop, you get a 3 and out. And then listen, like, I'm sure there were some people out there that were like me after the Lions score and be like, it's kind of a lot of time. Justin Fields might have something in him. Like, they have a good kicker. There's 30-some seconds left. They got a timeout. I don't know. Shut the door immediately. Aiden Hutchinson, nah. We're not even going to discuss overtime. It's over. It was a perfect game of football for the Lions for that past 4 minutes and 15 seconds. The Lions couldn't have played better.
I would say even before that too, like, if you want to talk about after the interception. And again, I know part of the story, and a lot of what we're saying isn't going to dismiss some of the criticisms we have about the defense or some of the way others people play in this game, but look at what the defense did do. I want to give at least some props to the defense, because I
think the defense had a good game.
Yes,
overall,
after that touchdown where the Bears went up 20-14, they didn't allow them in the end zone again. Like, even after another interception to give them the Bears another short field, they stood their ground out there. They stopped the bleeding. It was bend don't break for 2 possessions, and then forced the 3 and out when they saw that when they got the answer from the offense. Like, they did what they needed to out there for the entire fourth quarter. It was a completely different game for the defense as far as just stopping that bleeding. They got back out there and they did good things.
I would argue the defense had an overall very good day. I know the tackling was bad. I know Justin Fields had 100 yards rushing, but what else happened? What else did they do? What else were they successful at? Khalil Herbert, Dante Foreman, and Roschon Johnson had a combined 2.8 yards per carry. They did nothing on the day, and that turned out huge at the end, right? The Bears are trying to milk the clock. They're trying to run the ball away. It didn't work. They tried to run, and listen, the Bears made a lot of dumb coaching mistakes at the end of this game. They got uber conservative, and Bears fans are rightfully calling out Matt Eberflus because it was not smart on their end. But listen, I think the Lions
take advantage of it.
They took advantage of it. They were put in horrible spots all game. The first 2 turnovers, the defense held them to 0 points off those turnovers. 4 turnovers on the day, and you allow the Bears to score 26 points. That's not a bad day for your defense. I'm sorry, it's not. I was impressed with the defense. I thought they were, after that initial drive, I know everyone's freaking out after the initial drive. The Bears always seem to have a good scripted drive to start the game. Not much else the rest of the game. There really wasn't. And I know some people are going to be mad about some of the missed tackles, but if it weren't for the missed tackles and it weren't for some real ticky-tacky calls that seem to extend some of those Bears drives, I think the Lions maybe would have had more control of this game than they did.
Okay, but don't wipe away Justin Fields' 18 carries for 104 yards. Don't do that.
Why?
Jeremy, come on. And
it's
I know,
Justin Fields, my friend. Like, he's going to do that to teams.
But we have to play him again.
I know it is, but here's the thing.
And
is
he's
that,
0-3 in those games that he's had 100 yards against us.
Okay, but there's a couple, and there's one guy who's playing on Sunday Night Football right now who, can run the ball pretty well for a quarterback.
He's not Justin Fields.
Okay, I know he's not Justin Fields, but guess what? He has the second most rushing yards of any quarterback in the NFL. So the thing is, the point stand. Don't take away don't say, oh, the Lions didn't have a good run defense against the Panthers game, and then wipe away Justin Fields 104 yards. Don't do that. That's silly.
I will.
But yeah, whatever. So stupid.
Listen,
finish
sorry. Go. You know what?
Finish
Go on, Ryan. I'm sorry.
The thing about what I liked about the defense was that there was an adjustment. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, to Jeremy's point, like the Bears came out, they had a bunch of scripted plays on the first drive. It went well, right? I think as the game went on, because it certainly didn't seem like at the beginning of the game that the Lions were ready for anything when it came to any run options. You know what I mean? Like the edges were squeezing hard. The defense was really struggling in terms of stopping the run when it came to Justin Fields making decisions, running the football. Now, also to Jeremy's point about Eberflus is like why they decided to throw the ball more than just run the football and keep doing what worked. Who knows? I don't know why you would go away from that, but that's also why that guy probably won't have a job in Chicago. I think
he'll have a job next year.
Yeah,
cheap
we'll
ownership.
See. Regardless,
cheap ownership.
And, okay, all right, whatever. The point is for all the people who are kind of harping on Aaron Glenn, I think that you need to see the forest for the trees. Okay, you need to see that there were adjustments that were made. And this defense did, it got things fixed over the course of the game. And, I have concerns. Everybody's concerns about how the Lions can contain and corral and stop mobile quarterbacks. That was certainly not set aside today by any means. But I will say what was encouraging was that Aaron Glenn showed an ability and an aptitude to adjust. And, I think for the most part, it was a lot of execution failure on the part of players on the defense.
Right.
I think that the Lions brought an extra guy into the box and they brought line of scrimmage, and Brian Branch made a crap ton of hugely impactful plays. Right.
Yep.
Kind of the, sort of Damocles though, right? I mean, there were some ticky-tack, holding calls and whatnot or whatsoever. But I think that for the most part, like Aaron Glenn made adjustments schematically. The Lions just struggled to execute a little bit, but when they needed it, they did it. And whatever, who cares? 8-2, first time in 60 years.
Even the great football teams in the NFL lose bewildering games. The Lions show that they're great in that they didn't lose this game, overcame those shortcomings, and didn't need to play a fantastic game. I really agree with Ryan too, because ultimately at the end of the day, like I know Lions fans can criticize Aaron Glenn, and he probably, we'll talk about, the whole defense later, but Aaron Glenn can't go out there and finish those tackles for them. He can't. That's ultimately what it comes down to on the point of execution.
Right. It did not, like where the Chargers game maybe felt like there were some schematic problems against Justin Herbert. It did not feel like scheme was the problem today.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
It was execution. And you just work on that and try to bounce back and get charged up for Thanksgiving. And you know what we give on Thanksgiving? The gift of meat. And from us from here at Pride of Detroit to your family, we give you the gift of Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. for it's the jerky that fuels your Detroit Lions. We've been lying to you. You know the real reason, Ryan, we know, Ryan, you and me, we know the real reason for the Lions' comeback victory in this game. We know what Aaron Glenn ripped into in the middle of that game.
Meat sticks
And jerky and biltongs, like Popeye the Sailor Man out there, but with meat. Makes it even more manly. Righteous Felon jerky and meat sticks are available to Lions players at the training facilities at Allen Park, and you bet your bottom they're smuggling that stuff into Ford Field too. Each 2-ounce bag of jerky has 16 to 18 grams of protein. Each stick has 8 grams, because trust me, if it's good enough for the Lions, it's good enough for you too. Righteous Felon is based in Westchester, Pennsylvania. They use locally sourced, all-natural Black Angus beef and prides themselves on superior quality, revolutionary branding, and unique flavors that go beyond the stereotypical jerky offering. And we're going to give you the gift of meat in 15% off. Go to righteousfelon.com, use the promo code POD15 at checkout. You get 15% off your order. That's promo code POD at righteousfelon.com. We're also in the midst of Movember, raising charity fund money for the Alzheimer's Association of Michigan. And we have auctions going up here with some signed Lions memorabilia and fun paintings and all kinds of other fun stuff from here at Pride Detroit to benefit the Humane Society of Western Michigan. But coming up next on the Pride of Detroit POD cast, now that our bellies are full with the J-Mo McFlurry double, and we'll see how long it stays down there. We're going to talk about, you know what? That's a great transition right there. We'll talk about the man himself and more standouts from this team that came back 2 scores down to stick it to the Bears. Be right back on the Pride of Detroit POD cast.
Do you know what rhymes with 2 scores down?
What's that?
3 doors down.
There goes my hero.
That is not 3 doors down.
Oh,
that is Foo Fighters.
Wait, that is Foo Fighters. What was 3 doors down? What did they do?
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Yeah. Okay. I'm back now. Okay.
All right, I'm going to try to get through all of these alerts very quickly so that we can just hang out with chat, because chat, I want to watch the Dan Campbell screaming with you guys. I think I want to watch the CJ Gardner Johnson video with you guys. I just want to hang out for a little bit, but let me quickly thank all of the people over on Twitch for their subs. We also got a donation in there. ! Donate if you want to help add to the cause. To support the Alzheimer's Association. So you can see way up there, we've already raised over $14,000. We're going to try to hit 50 this month. It's going to be crazy if we hit there, but really quick. Derek Boberick, 30 months subscribed to the channel, says FTB. Dreskel, 15 months subscribed to the channel, throws a pride of FTB in the chat. Yevitz, 30 months subscribed to the channel. Rebuilding since 1957, 11 months, says, why couldn't Brad have traded for Chase Young? Come on. We're not doing that today. Katie from Michigan, 38 months subscribed to the channel, says, Lions win. What a great Twitch anniversary present. You're darn right. 8-2, baby. Dr. Dunlap, 16 months subscribed to the channel. Akumizer, 11 months, says, FTB, baby. 4 Lions Detroit, 37 months subscribed to the channel, says, amazing. A walk in the room pacer all the way to the end. Yeah, if I could have been pacing, I would have been pacing. Sundog 50-bit says, Chris and Ryan sitting at the McDonald's by my house in Boston ripping an Oreo McDouble right now. Love it. Scotty Questions, our good friend, 18 months subscribed to the channel, says, felt like the Lions forgot they had a game today and the Bears had this game circled. Nice to finally win games like this. I remember being on the other side of this for years. Yeah, amen to that. Brad Holmes is Bulge. Thank you for the 7 months subscribed to the channel. David Ryan for 29 months subscribed to the channel, says, Chabing Bing Wow Wow Yo Yo Wow Wow Hong Kong Kabinda. I don't know if that means, but I hopefully that wasn't offensive.
You nailed the pronunciation, though.
Did I?
I think so.
Well, they were all separate words, so it was weird. Wizard, 32 months subscribed to the channel, says, never doubted it for a second. Go Loins. Go Loins.
Go Loins.
DJ Juan, 3 months subscribed to the channel. The Bear Drew subscribed over on YouTube. Thank you so much. D Terp, 28 months subscribed to the channel, says, needed to throw on a pair of my 2-year-old diapers today. 2-year-olds, not 2-year-old diapers. 2-year-olds diapers. Dan told you to put some diapers on, so I mean, you probably should have been prepared for this one. Captain James Kirk, 50 bits, says the Bears had 40 minutes of possession. Defense played well all day. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but I don't like it. El Gato Diablo, 18 months subscribed to the channel, says big win. Why did the Bears not onside kick after the safety? I think you're not allowed to on a punt. I think what they did was the only thing that's allowed. Like it's just like a super high punt that they did. And was it Amon-Ra who caught it?
Yeah, it was Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Good on Amon-Ra. Raw Sports Opinion, 10 months subscribed to the channel, says this for dang. Sure, ain't the SOL. We didn't deserve to win that game. Deserve is an interesting word. I think if you score more points, you deserve. Doesn't matter what else happened. Mike Lang, 5 months subscribed to the channel. LJ Bira, 48 months subscribed to the channel, says what a comeback and just win, baby. Paul Onion, 15 months subscribed to the channel, says 8-2. Madi Tuhadi, $50 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, says Justin Fields proved again that rushing quarterbacks are an issue. Ryan was right, and my donation proves that. He also redeemed that for a muting of me, so once I'm done saying all of this stuff, I'm going to mute myself for 2 minutes. Justin Singer, 26 months subscribed to the channel, says 8-2, let's go. Captain James Kirk, 10 bits, says agreed, Chris, the Chiefs lost to the Colts last year. It's true. Good teams like to lose to bad teams. Nick the Greek, 38 months subscribed to the channel, says Matt Patricia's erotic nacho cheese bubble bath. Sure, why not? Sundog, 25 bits, says the song Simple Gifts is actually about dried meat snacks. Little known fact. Slyest Rye, 27 months subscribed to the channel. Thanks, buddy. Old Hank, 1 bit. Yeah, Detroit, 51 months subscribed to the channel. David Lunch, $50 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, says JMO season, LFG. Woodchuck Hunter, $75 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, throws a link in the chat, says I hope that you can use that as a picture. Probably wants to change my background. I'll look at that in a second. Sweaty Doofus, $50 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, says suck on this Bears. And El Pooperino, $25 subscribed to the channel, says Matt Patricia's wet jiggly matted hair boobs.
Please stop. Please just stop. Mute yourself right now.
Okay.
Dobbs got smoked. Dobbs lost a fumble.
I wasn't even thinking of the Chiefs last year. I was thinking of like the 49ers still look fantastic, and they lost 3 straight. What is the loss on the year for the Eagles against the Jets? That wasn't even a divisional game. Like, no, I know. By the way, shout out to our audience on YouTube who is watching us right now and really enjoyed our McDonald's, Ryan.
Yeah. I to be honest, I ate dinner before I went and got that that JMO special. So I took a couple bites. It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It's just it's ice cream and a burger. You'd eat those things.
Chocolate
separately.
even. I thought the ketchup would be a problem. The chocolate even overwhelmed the ketchup, so it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. It's not bad. Apologies to Tommy DeVito, who got his first career win. I said that he would never win a game in the NFL, but
well, are you going to eat the calzone along with Jeremy, who swore that if Tommy DeVito ever won a game, that if it was ever Tommy DeVito Day, that he would eat the crazy calzone from Little Caesars?
I don't need. What is Jeremy doing to his background right now? Is that Tommy DeVito?
I have no clue, and he's still muted for a while, so I guess we'll find out a little bit later. Tommy DeVito got sacked 9 times in this game and still threw 3 touchdown passes to his own team.
Yeah, what a bummer of a football game. I'm really glad that I didn't have to watch. All that being said, I'm glad I didn't have to watch that football game.
Shout out, though, to Draw Play Dave, who I know you and I and Jeremy all enjoy his cartoons.
Sweaty Doofus wants to mute me, so I'll go ahead and I'll take it.
Noble is asking me about the Olive Garden shirt. I will get that here before we start the next segment. Just a little bit of a, I haven't exactly. I just walked in the door with my burger ready to go. So Kareem Jackson, another dirty hit. Wow, unbelievable. I'm still trying to figure out how I screwed up with 3 Doors Down and Foo Fighters. Just butt rock, just kind of
very carefully
mixed together in my head. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, that was weird. I gotta wear the cowboy hat. Oh my gosh, there's so much I have to catch up on. Including this game that apparently already has 2 turnovers. Or is that not true? I don't know.
Yeah, we're going sicko mode tonight, man.
Dobbs fumbled and then someone hit an interception.
This is kind of like AFC is so weird. So like both the Browns and the Bengals have now lost their starting quarterbacks, although for the Browns they still win a game. Probably the ugliest game I've ever seen in a 13-10 pure AFC North divisional matchup. Meanwhile, the Bills pick up a win. The Chargers and Raiders politely decline, and I don't know how long Staley's got in Los Angeles, but man, he was combative with the press today, yelling about how he's still calling plays on the defense or something. Awful end to that game. Lets the Packers pick up a win.
By the way, Ryan,
really
people are requesting you to be putting in a pacifier like you promised on your mutes. Okay. All right. That's what he thinks of your charity, guys. Big middle finger.
Sorry, I'm reading some of the stuff you guys threw us on YouTube as well. I'll try to get to some of this here.
So what is Woodchuck Hunter? What's the story behind this? I don't understand
it. It looks like $1 or something.
It's definitely not $1. I don't know what that is.
No, I'm not saying it's $1.
Right. I know what you're saying. I'll go get the cowboy hat. Buckeye. Oh wait, no. Pintar. What do you want to ask ChatGPT? And then I'll also get Zazu in here, and we'll. It says
it's
someone
that is
named Ben Johnson.
He's an English playwright and poet from the 17th century.
If you didn't see in the chat, I'm not going to wake up my son who's sleeping just to go get Binky.
Fire.
But I see some people who said like Shank sucking on his thumb will work. So if you mute me again, I'll just suck on my thumb like a big old baby if you'd like that. So mute me, cowards.
Wow. Why are you so combative today?
Because this was a rough game to deal with the rest. I'm going to be honest, Lions fans. Some of you today were rough to deal with.
Is it because you old takes exposed yourself?
No, I mean, maybe for Ryan. For me, I have to run the Discord.
Oh, Liam's totally wrong. All my parlays hit, baby, because the Lions came back. So,
hi, John. Bye, John. You want to watch the Grey Cup instead of us? I see where your loyalties lie.
There are definitely people that need to stay off Twitter during Lions games. They're just the overreaction to me is insane. Like, Jared Goff has his first 3 interception game, and people are like, see, this is why the Lions are never going to win with Jared Goff. It's like, this dude has played 30, 40 games with the team, and the first time he messes up in a way that didn't even lose him the football game, it's suddenly, we got to throw everything out. It's just like,
we're talking extensions right now in the middle of the season, and like, listen, whether Jared or Goff gets extended or not is going to have nothing to do with how he plays this season. It's going to have everything to do with the money, fit for the team, OC considerations. Like, maybe way down that list is how he plays down the stretch this season.
The worst thing that I saw on Twitter was when Jared Goff threw his 3rd interception. I was a big dumb idiot, and I quote tweeted the Draft Network that tweeted out a jersey swap of Jaden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, in a Lions jersey with the eyes like, oh, the Lions should draft a quarterback. Are you stupid? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen on Twitter in my entire life. Are you kidding me?
You tweeted? Wait, I thought you didn't tweet that.
Jaden Daniels weighs $180.
No, I quote tweeted them. I said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Okay. I thought you tweeted that with the eyes, and I'm like, are you dunking on yourself again?
No, they tweeted it with the eye thing, and then I quote tweeted it, and after I quote tweeted, I was like, ooh, I'm a big dumb stupid idiot because I'm over here amplifying it.
Right.
But doesn't matter. Like, what a bunch of idiots.
At halftime the Lions were up 14-10. Remember, they were winning at this point, and I saw someone say, this is the worst half of football I've seen the Lions play this year, and that includes the Ravens game. And I'm like, excuse me? Do we need to go back and replay that game and Clockwork Orange you so that you can rewatch? They were winning at halftime. They were fine.
I tweeted out, I can't believe how many Lions fans don't want interesting football. These penalties and mixed tackles are keeping things close. Why don't you want your heart going haywire on Sunday? And people took it seriously.
So
and then I said,
you can't self-deprecate like that.
What's that?
You can't self-deprecate like that when people are pissed off. No one's.
And then I was like, I can't believe Aaron Glenn keeps drawing all these flags. I can't believe Aaron Glenn keeps throwing all these interceptions. And someone quote tweeted it to be very, very serious with it, or to imply that I am trying to absolve Aaron Glenn of all blame in any kind of defensive shortcomings. And that's not at all what I'm like. Why are we doing this? Why are we being maximal about this when we're at 8-2, and even if they lost, you would have been at 7-3 and still one of the best teams in the NFC? Why are we doing this? I know this is new to you Lions fans, but why are you doing this?
That's out of my system. I don't want to talk about fans being dumb in the game because it's to no end. Like we all need to just celebrate now. All is forgiven.
Yes.
Let's move on.
So former Ravens quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco is signing with the Cleveland Browns.
But DTR just won, baby. Comeback victory.
DTR is never going to win. He's a UCLA quarterback. They're cursed.
Did DTR win or did that defense win again?
Hey, game-winning drive.
It's true. There's whatever. Go ahead. Keep talking. I don't know. There's something else I wanted to say. Can't remember.
Let me quickly thank Youper. Thank you for the 13 months. Subscribe to the channel. Nick the Creek, 100 bits. That one is too far. I'm not going to read that one. Yeah, we're good. How far away, Jill, are you around? How far away are we to a spin on the Wheel of Pain? By the way, it's not only just a spin on the Wheel of Pain. If we get to $15,000 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, the next, what do we call it? Milestone at 15,000 is me going into a grocery store with yoga pants on.
Oh yeah. By the way, I can't do the conversion in my head, but £2 from Super Chat from Damian Smith over on YouTube.
Oh, I never got that.
Gave us £2 and says CJ Stroud also threw 3 picks and 1.
What is the point being made there?
I'm not quite sure. Damian Smith, you can always clarify on that, but I guess it's that great quarterbacks still make lots of mistakes.
Oh, we're already CJ Stroud is already in the great category, huh?
A, he's already got the offensive rookie of the year probably locked up for the AZ. B, he might be an MVP. I know you are resistant to it, but you tell me the MVP candidate that's outplaying CJ Stroud right now. Didn't he get hurt this game?
No. Yeah, he got hurt. He came back. I saw Tyreek Hill make a play today that looked deep faked. It looked unreal. He caught a ball.
I know exactly that play you're talking about.
He caught a ball in the middle of 5 Raiders defenders, and they didn't matter. He just got in the end zone.
I think, though, because wide receiver, like, the MVP is a quarterback award, though.
Yeah, but that's stupid. Why do we do that?
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
okay,
but I will entertain Tyreek, but yes, it CJ Stroud will be considered. Trust me on this. CJ Stroud will be considered. Will get votes.
He'll be considered. He won't win it.
He might win it.
He will not win it, Chris.
He will. He might win it.
No. Okay. Well, that Jared Goff might win it.
CJ Stroud will finish top 2 in MVP voting.
Oh wow! Clip it.
Let's watch the post-game celebration video real quick, because why wouldn't you want to watch that again? And if you haven't seen it,
I want to watch it.
My goodness, you are about to be treated to something.
Kick puncher. Yeah, did DPJ get involved? Get involved at all today? He did. He was targeted on one of the Jared Goff interceptions.
He was, and he vanished shortly after that.
Let me share sound so you guys can hear. Guys, get ready. This is phenomenal. Here we go.
Guys, holy we are resilient team, gentlemen. We are resilient. We're going to find a way to win. They freaking came out and they fought us, but we fought harder. And we went and got the win. That's outstanding. That's division win number 2. I got one game ball. Give me this. All right, hey, listen, to make the rally that we did and to come back, man, we needed some stops. We get the stops. Offense, we go down, we strike. We need another stop, we get the stop. Hutch, where you at, brother?
Making a motion.
I'm so proud of everybody, man. We got the shit done. Man, I'm really excited about this year. I'm really excited about this year. I think we're going to do some special shit, especially with the adversity we just dealt with, how we overcame it, man. So to keep pushing week by week. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Gotta just get the scream in. It's so good. It's so good.
What was the meme you said, Ryan, that you saw that someone?
Oh yeah, I haven't even watched it. You put it in our. You turned it into God. Someone turned it into Godzilla.
Yeah, someone put the Godzilla scream over it.
My buddy put the Godzilla scream over it, and it works pretty well.
All right, let's watch that real quick. Real quick.
So,
all right, that's pretty good. That's pretty
I don't know if should we talk about CJGJ on the podcast itself, or do you want to talk about it a little bit on the break?
I mean, we could talk about him like in the.
I'm not talking about the video.
Him coming back, you mean?
Yeah. Like I know we can't play the video. I know we can't talk about the. I mean, we can talk about the video. We certainly can't play it.
Yeah.
I just going back to just what I like about this team so much is the personality of it. Like JMO smiling and talking about how he's got Amon-Ra in his ear saying like, go out, this is your ball, go out and get it. Go get it on the touchdown. And just beaming to it. And then, yeah, CJGJ, who's completely new to all of this at home, just completely out of his mind watching this game.
It's a good time, man. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing him so invested in the Lions, considering he only played 2 games with them. You know,
shows you he's bought in. He likes it. He likes it, man.
Yeah,
he likes it.
He likes us. I think we should go get into it. Let's get into segment 2.
Sure. Yeah, I know everyone like either wants to watch the Sunday Night Football game, or apparently if you are
no one wants to watch CFL. Let's not even talk about it. It doesn't exist. Let's go.
No, seriously. Someone did ask for my Olive Garden shirt, so can I get a second? I'm just gonna grab that. Damn it, I'm taking off the tracksuit. You know what you're making me do? This is the victory tracksuit, and I have to go get an Olive Garden shirt.
It's the price you got to pay. What are you laughing at over there?
Okay. I'm sorry. I want to start segment 2 too, but my buddy who's watching the stream, who you just played the Godzilla thing from,
yeah.
I'm gonna send it, and he goes because he was just like, "This is even better than the Godzilla roar." It's just very 2 perfectly mashed together memes in one that we can all enjoy.
All right. Pintar, I did not see it. Send it again. Desktop. All right, here we go.
And the last thing, the most important piece, is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Fields with Hutchinson coming. That ball is out. Darnell Wright kicks it in back of the end zone. 2 points for Detroit with 21 seconds left.
Hold on, can I see that again?
The last thing, the most important piece, is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Fields.
Oh no.
With Hutchinson coming. That ball is out. Darnell Wright kicks it in back of the end zone.
I'll throw this in the Twitch chat.
With 21 seconds left.
Dang, your buddy's really good at the internet.
REW music. Yeah.
There you go. It's in the Twitch chat. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know how to send it to YouTube.
Good stuff.
I'm a baby.
You know what though? Like, as Derek Boberic, we do need these. You know what I mean? Like, we need to savor stuff like this.
Yes.
Like, just being on the other end of all this stuff for so long.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I mean. Like, I know we're not used to it. That's what good teams do, man.
All right.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Get this back on. Prior to Detroit POD cast, I know a big story is going to come out of it. I want to talk more about the defense that Jeremy, you had the take that this was actually a good game for the defense. I want to break that down a little bit, but I feel like we should probably start with the offense and talking about some of the standout players. Also talk about, look, I don't think anyone wants to ever go out there and throw 3 interceptions, but as we were saying, one of the strengths of Jared Goff is to put away the mistakes. Now, in this one, he didn't do quite the same job at it, but he still cleared out 3 interceptions from his head for those final drives to bring the Lions back into this and to go ahead. Like, before those 2 touchdown drives, he had thrown an there had been, I think at the start of the half, there had been 4 plays before a punt. There was the fumble. Jared Goff threw his 3rd interception, and then a 3-and-out. And then somehow you were able to put all of that out of your head and go straight for 2 touchdown drives. I think any kind of talk of any kind of extension is beyond premature. But it's not, I mean, I don't say that as far as anything about his play at this point. And I promised I would stop praising Jared Goff because I think I don't want it going to Jared Goff's head. I don't know how he's listening to me. Nobody should listen to me.
That is some ego if you think you're getting into Jared Goff's head.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, with last podcast was the first time I really praised Jared Goff, and this happened. This is less about ego. This is more about juju, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But either way, to clear it out and still do that, that's big time.
Yeah. I don't feel like we need to talk about Jared Goff too much. Like, it was a horrible day from him. Like, even if you're excusing some of the interceptions he did throw, he had bad enough throws where he probably should have had 1 or 2 more. And yeah, it's not acceptable. It brought up some of the concerns that people have with him when it comes to pressure, because a lot of those were done under pressure. But I don't think there's necessarily a long-term issue there, because it does seem like that was more out of the ordinary. We saw even in this game a couple times where he threw the ball away in pressure situations like he has been all year, and instead of forcing it into tight windows or windows that aren't even there, probably even got away with an intentional grounding that they didn't call. But either way, like, horrible game from Jared Goff, but yes, you also give him some credit for what he did in the final 5 minutes as well.
Right, but I didn't want to talk about him that long because Ryan, Jameson Williams. Big time. Big time,
Yeah.
right? Big time,
Yeah.
JMO.
Yeah. It's I don't know why you're asking me. You should ask this question to the guy who wrote about JMO leading into this week in the Pride of Detroit Direct, which you can subscribe to for 20% off.
That's true.
I think man, like, that's just the thing that this offense can do, right? If given the opportunity, and he was given the opportunity, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Like, he's out there on the field. I think the thing that everybody was talking about leading up to when JMO came back was time on task. Those were the buzzwords that just kind of sat around Jameson Williams. And, now we have a little momentum that we're building here with JMO, right? And things are trending in the right direction. And, who knows if JMO will ever be the focal point of this offense, right? As long as Amon-Ra St. Brown exists, right? I don't know how much Jameson Williams even kind of, infringes on that territory. I think that's all neither here nor there. Jamo also had a huge catch earlier in the game too.
Yep. Third down.
Yep. Big third down catch. I think I was really happy to see that. You know what I mean? Like, big moment, team needed him. He was there, like multiple times. So, also, Jared Goff making that throw. Not saying that there was anything special about it. I mean, Jamo had enough separation from the safety that was back there that, it shouldn't have been an issue regardless, but it's good to see. You know what I mean? It just in terms of contrast to where we were a few weeks ago against Baltimore, right? Like, I don't know if there could have been a worse game or a less encouraging game that we could have seen from that week to kind of where we are now. So, I'm really happy for him, and it can only mean good things, right?
Yeah. And honestly, like, I think what was most encouraging for me is the way they're continuing to use him, because a lot of times they're lining him up with Amon-Ra, like, almost stacked behind each other. And if that's, like, what do you even do in that situation defensively?
You got to make a decision.
You have to make it.
Decision.
It puts so much stress on the opposing safety because, listen, I think there was a point in this game where I almost felt like Jared Goff was using Amon-Ra a little bit too much as a security blanket.
Oh, yeah.
And it almost raised those concerns that they used to have with Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson, where it's like, is Calvin Johnson actually bad for Matthew Stafford because he only looks his direction? But I think the touchdown is a perfect example. Those two were stacked, and then you have basically Amon-Ra getting that safety to close down on him, opening a big alley for I almost called him Calvin, for Jameson. And yeah, that sort of like one, now that I think the Lions have that sort of trust in Jamo, he's out there. I mean, I have to imagine he set another career high in terms of percentage of snaps. He was out there all the time, including obviously on those final two drives. The production is going to come. And I know I predicted over 100 yards in this game, but listen, now he's had two incredibly important touchdowns for this team. The one in Tampa that really helped put that game away, and the big chunk yardage that they needed in this one to have those two scores come quickly at the end of the game. So yeah, it's coming. It continues to look better and better and better, and it's not perfect. They had another deep shot to Jamo where Jamo was looking inside, the ball was outside. It didn't work, but I only think it's really an upward trajectory for this duo, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
It wasn't the same day for the rushing offense that we've seen in past days, but neither Gibbs nor Montgomery, I think, broke 100 yards from scrimmage. They came very close to it. And I think that Jahmyr Gibbs still, once again, stacking another impressive game, perfect on receptions, and really breaking out against what is a very good run defense, Jeremy.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to talk about David Montgomery if we're going to talk running backs, because
seriously,
obviously a very important game for him going against his former team. He downplayed it all week. He downplayed it after the game, but his teammates pretty much said, like, yeah, we knew this was a big one for him, so we were going to do everything we can to get him the ball and get him to, and listen, it was a pretty quiet day for him for the first three quarters, but again, that final drive, he had 45 yards of it between receptions and rushing, not to mention, obviously, the game-winning score at the end. And yeah, like, Colby Sorsel is obviously filling in for Jonah Jackson in this game, and the Lions, I think, had the Bears kind of on their heels running the ball. 22 carries for 115 yards and 5.2 a carry and 2 touchdowns. This Bears defense had allowed 5 rushing touchdowns all season, and the Lions got 2 of them.
The confidence in the Lions late game on that final drive to still hand the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs to get it to the goal line, and then again for Montgomery to keep trusting, even with about, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, Ryan, 40 seconds to go, and still say these guys are still going to get us yards. They're not going to just get flattened and stop the drive. Like that takes incredible trust with no timeouts left. And, you need to burn some clock, but it can easily go against you to still trust that duo to just keep slamming into this Bears defense and just keep pushing them back and back and back. It really shows the confidence the Lions have found in their run game.
Yeah, nobody knew how much time was left on the clock because the Fox producers were in hell, and they couldn't. The game clock was like it was glitching all game long, and then it was glitching hard at the end of the game. So the only thing that you saw was the game clock that was ticking down, the play clock that was ticking down. But you know, I think Montgomery. I mean, the touchdown that he scores at the end of the game. I mean, you could see just how amped he was, right? Like, not only you're putting your team ahead, but you're also doing it against your former team. And I think that, that was kind of the cherry on top. Can we talk about the third quarter, or are we just not gonna, we're not going to talk about that? Because it was honestly one of the most frustrating points of watching the game. And I mean, I think that's saying a lot, considering the interceptions that Jared Goff threw and the interceptions he almost threw. But coming out of the break, the Lions were up 14-10.
Yep.
At halftime,
with the ball,
I was feeling pretty good. You know what I mean? 14-10 going into halftime. They come out. What do they do on the very first play? David Montgomery rips off a 20-yard run. On 2nd and 10. The infamous 2nd and 10 run. David Montgomery, 8 yards. 3rd and 2, Jared Goff sacked for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
It really felt like the Lions missed an opportunity to control the clock. And that was something they hadn't done at all in the first half, right? Like, it was the Bears offense out there against the Lions defense for the majority of the half. And it felt like an opportunity for the Lions to while up 14-10 to say, here's how we're going to play the football game for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
We're going to play it on our terms.
Right.
And here's what needed to happen. On 3rd and 2, I don't have a huge issue with calling a pass. I really don't, because the Lions are at they're at the Chicago 47, right? Like, they're on the other side of the field. 3rd and 2, you want to call a deep shot? Go for it. You just ripped off 2 big runs. Take your shot. By the same token, it's a terrible sack for Jared Goff to take, because then it forces what the Lions have to do, because all of a sudden they're on their own side of the field.
Right.
And that was one of the most frustrating sequences, because it felt like an opportunity where the Lions really squandered a chance to put a stranglehold in this game.
Yeah.
Because we've seen those drives from them before, right, Jeremy? Like, the drive that comes to mind is the beginning of the 4th quarter of the Packers game, right? Like, hey, the Packers have a little bit of momentum. What are the Lions going to do? Oh, a 9-minute drive to snuff you out and leave any chance of you winning this football game in the rearview mirror. The Lions didn't have that. They didn't have that death blow. That
it seemed like the Bears did.
Lions got dominated.
The Bears had that 9-minute drive in the 4th quarter.
The Bears had 40 and a half minutes of possession time in this game.
But that wouldn't have happened if that first drive in the start of the second half, the Lions could have just worked their way down the field. And think about that. If the Lions score on that drive, it's a 21-10 game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. And Goff took a couple bad sacks in this game. Like that, I think his bad game goes beyond the interception throw. And he, one of I think it was the 4th quarter, right? The 4th quarter drive, they had a 3-and-out because Jared Goff took a sack on a rollout. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a larger point to make
rolling
here.
Out to Montez Sweat's side too.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, the Lions persevered. I don't think I have much more to say about the offense. We know it was a bad day from Jared Goff. We know the 3rd quarter is frustrating. We know the offensive line was still mostly good, even though the Bears turned up the pressure, which is something they don't normally do. I think that maybe caught them a little bit off guard. The Bears don't blitz a lot, but they sure did in this game. And I don't know.
I mean, that's what led to that sack on 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
The Bears sent an extra defender, and yeah.
I don't want to hear Bears fans say this game doesn't mean anything to the Bears and that the Lions aren't real rivals, because clearly the Bears threw everything at the Lions for this game because this was their Super Bowl, as far as I'm concerned. But to move over to the defense, yeah, I just want to repeat that time of possession stat again, that the Bears held the ball for 40 minutes, 24 seconds in this game, which means that as we look on the defense, Jeremy, I think one thing to talk about is just how long the defense had to stand on their head for this game.
Yeah.
That is a long time for them to be out there. The Bears put together long, methodical drives, 5 minutes, 7.5 minutes for a field goal, another 6 minutes coming into the second half, 3 minutes later there. That last field goal was like almost 9 minutes out there. So I know we're going to talk about some of the things that the defense is struggling with. And again, you think it's a good game. And I think you might be onto something just on the very fact that that's a long ass time for a defense to be out there catching their breath and trying to stop the bleeding from an offense that is throwing everything they can at them.
But the offense really was only throwing one thing at them, and it was Justin Fields running.
Justin Fields.
And that's a really hard thing to stop because they mostly stopped everything else. He didn't really beat him with their arm very often. He had one big play to DJ Moore that was, I mean, that's kind of a tip your hat play. It wasn't perfect coverage by any means, but it was an absolutely perfect throw. And we saw that he's not capable of making those consistently, right? Because he had a deep shot. He had an open receiver at the very end of the game. Didn't hit him. Would have been a hell of a throw there.
He had a few of those, the overthrows.
Yeah.
Where they weren't necessarily open receivers,
right.
You know what I mean?
It didn't seem like there was a busted coverage today.
No. It didn't seem like a Tampa Bay game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I look at this like 4.7 yards per play for Chicago, 5.7 for Detroit. You take that. You take that.
The stats just don't tell the story of this game, though, for some reason. You know what I mean?
Well, I honestly, I think this game looks a lot different defensively if they aren't kind of screwed over by some of these drive extending penalties. And this isn't me about to getting on my soapbox about automatic first downs on third and longs, but at the same time,
but
it kind of is.
So it was so stupid. It was so dumb.
You got into several situations where the Lions should have gotten off the field. You had a goal line stop that got reset because of a bad penalty. The defense constantly put themselves in good positions to get off the field, and whether it was Justin Fields working his magic, DJ Moore breaking 18 tackles to get a first down, or a bad call, it didn't happen. But I think if you stretch that game to 8 quarters, to 12, like, they get off the field so much more than they did in this game. And so that's why, like, on a down-to-down basis, I thought they were fine in this game. I really did. And I know there are going to be people that disagree. I know there are going to be people that are ripping their hair out about mobile quarterbacks, and you're not wrong. But at the same time, I think the Lions managed this game pretty darn well, all things considered defensively. The fact that they were constantly starting on their own side of the field, the fact that they were victimized by bad penalty. Like, we should also point out, they held teams to field goals in that fourth quarter, which turned out to be absolutely essential to them winning that football game. And they get the game-winning turnover. I don't know.
Yeah.
And can we talk about Brian Branch?
I think it's just well, let's get to Brian Branch in a second, but like just real quick, the only thing I want to add to that is that I think it's just the start they got off to, right? Because I saw Lions fans and some Lions media saying that this is now 6 straight consecutive drives, that they've given up a touchdown. Great. The Bears are coming out with a script on the first one. And B, like, what are we doing carrying over drives per game? But I think that a lot of the frustration, I think, Jeremy, came from basically holdover frustration from the Chargers game. And it kept continuing from there. So I think you're onto something, but I think how the Lions got started ultimately tainted anyone's vision of talking about the defense. And then, they just see missed tackles and plays just not being finished up. But yes, let's please talk about Brian Branch. He had a couple of, bad penalties on him, but once again, the man is teleporting around the field and continues to just
3 damn tackles for loss. Like he was part of the reason that they were at times able to keep Justin Fields in check. He is a big reason why the running backs couldn't do a dang thing all game. Bringing him to the line, it's really interesting what they've done over the last couple weeks, which is take Tracy Walker completely off the field, have Brian Branch basically in as a 4th linebacker or even sometimes on the defensive line, and just trust Kirby Joseph as the one deep safety. It kind of worked in this game. I thought Kirby wasn't great in this game. I think there were a couple times where he was late to get to some deep shots, but it's almost worth it.
DJ Moore touchdown.
Yeah, and it's almost worth it, though, because Brian Branch is just running all over the dang place. He almost had an interception too, where he just had absolutely perfect coverage on DJ Moore. A lot of people were questioning what was going on with Brian Branch. Why wasn't he making as many plays as he used to? Is he still injured? I think this put everything to bed. Like, that guy is still a playmaker on defense, on a defense that doesn't have a ton of playmakers.
Oh, and speaking of playmakers too, like Cam Sutton making a play when the Lions absolutely needed it, running up in zone coverage and making that peanut punch, as Charles Tillman would have done in years past. But I think the thing that's can we talk about the linebackers? Because I think that was the area of concern for Detroit's defense.
Well, it depends which one you're talking about.
We need to talk about Jack Campbell.
Yeah, I think should we have a tough conversation about Jack Campbell?
Sure.
I think we would all benefit from a rewatch, but I think, from first glance, there was a lot of over pursuit. There was a lot of getting twisted and turned around. There were some missed tackles. There were some opportunities that I don't want to put it all on Jack Campbell. Because I think that, I think there were spots where kind of all the linebackers had a moment of, oh man, like that could have been a play, or that could have been a play, or that could have been a play. And it was a little reminiscent, in my opinion, of some of the stuff that happened in the Ravens game. You know what I mean? Where, oh, there was a play where, oh, you could have made that on Lamar, and all of a sudden the Ravens would have been behind the sticks, and somehow the ball carrier ended up 4, 5, 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. And I get it, right? And I think that's your point, Jeremy, where it's like, some people might hear, oh, the defense wasn't that. How can you say that they weren't that bad? Like there were so many frustrating plays like that. But I think that, again, hopefully that's something that they can just clean up. But it's a quick turnaround. Thursday.
I just hope that
Packers season.
I was going to say, you hope that you've seen the Packers before, but I think that's a good jumping off point. You want to take a break and then talk about what we expect for Thanksgiving?
Can I quickly talk about Alex Anzalone, because I thought he was fantastic again.
Once again, he's fantastic. It almost feels like talking about St. Brown at this point. It's like, what else can I say that I haven't said already about Anzalone?
Career high 15 tackles. Again, he looks. The thing that strikes me is his coverage abilities. He's continuing to be just like an absolute beast. He's right there on a third down and 4. He makes a tackle after 2 yards. Another deep shot to either a tight end or a running back. He's right there in perfect coverage. The tackling isn't perfect, but he's also continuing to be kind of a monster when it comes to pass rush and blitzing. So I think Brian Branch
needs right now.
Branch and Alex Anzalone, I think, continue to be two of the best players on this team's defense, and that is including Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm not sure what to do with that. Like, Aiden Hutchinson feels like he is just, it's always a step behind from really finishing up a play. And he seems to be the focal point of every team to stop Aiden Hutchinson from making those plays. And he finally got one today.
Pretty big one.
He called game. I also really don't like, throwing your arms up in the air for a holding call as you're in pursuit of the ball carrier. Maybe don't do that, but
maybe put those to use. Yeah.
He has a right to be frustrated though, over the past, I don't know, month and a half, where he can't draw a frickin' flag.
No arguments against that by any means. But dude, also, hey, you know who I thought had a great game too? Real quick, Ali McNeil.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he came right up the middle again.
There was a play where, I mean, he got some serious push, and he had a QB hit on Justin Fields that, I don't know, I thought Justin Fields might take a trip to the blue tent because of the way that his head hit the turf. But, Aleem, I mean, he's just such an important part of the middle of that defense. And I think a lot of people were kind of scratching their heads when they saw the inactives for this game, where it was like, oh man, no Levi, no Broderick Martin. The Lions, what the practice squad? What are they doing here? Like, a little bit of a method to the madness, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they knew what they were up against.
Yep. Last thing I will add to this, by the way, the very last thing that I think we will probably say about the Bears game before looking ahead to what this game means and everything else. And I love going to our old friend Mansour Shaheen, who compiled these excellent stats of Justin Field dancing on the Lions D, which everyone was very happy to see. After that was when the Bears went up, I believe, 23-14. And after that, Bears get 5 yards in the next 3 plays and a field goal. Lions go 75-yard touchdown. Bears 3 and out, 1 yard. Lions, 11 plays, 73 yards, touchdown. Bears minus 25 yards safety. Don't dance. Don't dance on us. God, I hate the Bears. God, I hate the Bears.
Could I suggest that we own the Bears?
You can suggest that.
We own the NFC North. 7 in a row against the North. Is that right?
Shall we talk about trying to make it 8 in the row?
I'll have to fact check this, but I saw that Ryan Poles is 0-9 against the NFC North after saying that he would take it and never let it go.
Curious. Very curious. When we come back on the Pride of Detroit POD cast, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving, the Packers, and maybe the timetable on a particular man who was very, very excited to see the Lions win this game. All that and more, and looking around the rest of the NFC playoff picture as we return in just a moment on the Pride of Detroit POD-cast. By the way, wind is really going hard here, so if you lose me...
Okay. I do not hear it, if that's a concern.
No, I'm not worried about hearing. I'm worried about other things.
Yeah, the power and cable going out. Got it. Let me quickly thank some subscribers, because we got a bunch during that segment as well. All you Twitchers coming out. Appreciate all the support. Toast with the 5 months says go Lions. Thank you, Toast. Steven Kazek will say, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Dango Ryber.
130 people watching us on YouTube, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you, YouTube.
Dango Ryber, 39 months subscribed to the channel. Jorhi, thank you for the 3 months subscribed to the channel. Mgo Korg, 31 months subscribed to the channel. Melsef, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Baltimore Beatdown, our good friend Kyle, 25 months subscribed to the channel, says, let's go 8-win teams.
Okay, come on.
All right. And Surreal Rob,
Browning.
thank you for the Twitch Prime. And yeah, this is always a good reminder for those of you that are on Twitch or those of you that are on YouTube that just subscribed. We do live streaming of our podcast, but there's a whole bunch more over on YouTube, including a bunch of stuff from our great contributors, Miko Scott and Morgan Cannon. They do, like film breakdowns of the game. They do keys to the game, the upcoming game, all sorts of awesome stuff over there. So if you're on Twitch, !YouTube will get you a link. Please click the subscribe button over there. So much content that doesn't make the site, so much content that doesn't make our Twitch page that is very well done. There's a lot of heart and sweat and tears that Miko puts into that page that should be blown up. It is blowing up, but it should be blowing up even more. All right.
Do we have time for a list cast?
Sure.
Austin Mammoth. Finish.
No. Go ahead.
Austin Mammoth has requested a list cast on Twitch, and he asks, quote, can you guys do worst quarterback haircuts current in season if that's easier?
I don't know what a lot of quarterbacks haircuts
wear
are
helmets.
They have helmets.
What is it? I need to know what spurred this, because clearly there's someone out there with a bad haircut that you want us to talk about. I don't think I can do this one, if I'm being completely honest. I can do I can do worst haircuts of owners and just start and end the list with the Davises, both of them.
I could do longest necks on quarterbacks.
What was Trevor Lawrence wearing at the press conference too? Like really celebrating the Grey Cup by putting on the denim.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it. I also got an extremely long chat GPT, and I was only able to copy and paste 2 of them because it was sent mid-segment, and I didn't see it. Crook, FTW, thank you for 37 months. Subscribe to the channel. There is just... I feel like there's too much going on our streams now. We're recapping the game. We have Movember going on. We've got eggs being cracked. We've got channel... Like, I almost want to turn off channel point redemptions during November because there's just too much going on.
Sure. I'm going to go and refund the second. I refunded the list cast. I'm going to also refund Ball Out's list cast. I think we want to get out of here at a reasonable time because we still want to watch some of this Sunday night game.
To Jeremy's point too, we got Ryan from Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
His $100 donation that just popped. Yeah, okay.
I haven't said it, but I see it.
And Ruby's asleep, so I'm going to refund that cameo as well.
Shout out
refund
Ryan
the
from
Zazu
Toledo.
cameo. Should I just refund all of this for right now?
Maybe.
I remember seeing you at the 2019 draft. Shout out Buffalo Wild Wings.
But Ryan in Toledo wants me to do the Dan Campbell primal howl and then bash an egg on my head, which I promise I will do at the end of the podcast.
If it gets picked up by the, I know I owe some eggs as well. So
you do. Eric Gibbs, thank you for the subscription over on YouTube. Okay. Why sad face? The Rams sure did beat the Seahawks. That is true. Despite the Rams running a horrible flea flicker that didn't work and almost got Matthew Stafford hurt. Don't do that. You deserve to lose, McVay.
Sean McVay, baby. Sean McVay.
By the way, we are $318 away from a spin on the Wheel of Pain and reaching that 15K mark, which means I would eventually walk into a supermarket in yoga pants. So let's hit that tonight, y'all. Lions won. The Lions won again, as someone once said. You okay, Ryan? Is that McDouble hitting you hard right now?
No, I'm just losing steam.
Okay. Should we just jump right back into it? We can jump right back into it.
Yeah. I feel like we can jump right back in. Surprisingly enough, like it's been, what we got on stream at like 7:55.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Time flies when you're having fun.
We did get started late, though. We did get started pretty late.
Yeah. It was kind of my fault. I was in the McDonald's drive-thru. I don't know. Do you guys just want our third segment? Do you want to talk about like around the NFC a little bit and like fold that into playoff talk? Yeah.
Minus sure. Vikings, obviously. Let me go grab I need something. I just need to grab a drink super quick. So, and then we can get started.
Okay. I'm not rattled, brand new Lions. I didn't eat an edible. Nope. Haven't done any of those things. Oh man, it's just been a week, Yeah. It's been a week.
But no, the sooner we get into the third segment, the sooner we can get to the end, which is when I'll crack an egg on my head and scream like Dan Campbell.
Who doesn't want to see that? Yeah.
It's literally the only egg I have in my house, so I can't do another one if someone is thinking about donate. Although if you want to donate $100, there are 2 other people on this podcast. One might need to be woken up with an egg on his head. That's all I'm saying.
I might crack it into my mouth.
I haven't had dinner yet. You know what?
You haven't?
Nope. I was thinking.
Open up.
You know what? I'm so desperate to eat something right now. I would do that. If I was sitting next to you, I'd eat that. I'd pound that.
In the chat right now, can you tell Jeremy what you'd like for him to order from Taco Bell? Because I know that's what's happening.
Here's the thing. I don't think it is because the Taco Bell near me, like every now and then I'll try to order from the app and it's like, no.
No. We're not doing that.
And so I have to go to one like 5 or 6 or 7 miles away, and that's enough pushback where I'm like, okay, this is a bad idea.
That's a deal breaker, huh?
It's not that like I'm that lazy. It's more like that amount of effort suddenly kicks in like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. This is a bad idea in the first place, so having to travel 15 miles road trip to get Taco Bell is enough to be like, oh, that wakes me up. Why do that when you can just, I don't know. I don't even have crap in my house.
Eat your
right
hand.
now.
Eat your own hand. Yeah. AZ Lions, how bad was the garlic after the podcast? Bad enough that I had the bubbly guts from like 2:30 in the morning until like the end of that night. And bad enough that I messaged Jeremy. That was the worst possible decision I could have made. And he was like, yeah, I don't think anybody's ever going to do that ever again on stream. And I said, yep, probably not.
And then we just ate, McDonald's McFlurry on stream.
Way
It's better than eating a spoonful of minced garlic.
way more edible. Okay, so I just got sent a tweet from Lions Blood, aka Big BK Shaky, that has quite a ridiculous stat. Since 1932, no NFL team with a +3 turnover margin, although I think it's +2 now, isn't it? Am I wrong? I don't know. Whatever. +3 turnover margin and 40 minutes of time of possession has ever lost a game. Teams were 48-0 until the Bears lost today. It's not an overstatement to call this a historic loss. Ryan, are you
and historic?
No, see, I was just about to ask that. I think it's ahistoric. I don't think it makes any sense to call it.
Well, I think the reason why they say and historic is just because
They're
if
wrong.
you say it like that, ahistoric, like ahistoric itself is one word.
Right.
So like to make yourself clear that you're not saying that it's ahistorical. I don't know, Ryan. You're the English.
Oh, I'm an English teacher, but
Yep.
I know math.
And 500 is greater
Is
than
a lot.
318 or whatever we needed. D-Terp, a $500 donation to the Alzheimer's Association, says, going to write an article, have fun shopping, Jeremy. I'm not sure what that, you mean shopping for food? What is that? Oh, no, shopping with the yoga pants. Clicked. We are past the $15,000 mark, which means, again, we are also going to have a spin of the wheel of pain at the end of the show. So let's get into the third segment so that we can get to the end of the show, so I can smash an egg out of my head, so something weird can happen with the wheel of pain. That also means we're halfway to a wheel of extreme pain as well.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, for clarification, by the way, a versus an, it's not the letter, it's the sound. So if it's a vowel sound, then it is an.
Right.
So,
but historic is not a vowel sound.
right. So, what do you think's correct?
Oh, I already know.
RGA wants you to eat a bug. I don't want to see you eat a bug. It'll make me sick.
Please, let's not.
You and your artificially flavored bugs.
Sour cream and onion, baby.
That is repulsive.
That's horrifying.
That's
What kind of yoga
another
pants do you
adjective.
have, Jeremy? Have you ordered them?
No.
Big Daddy 187 says, I want leopard print yoga pants.
I didn't know I was taking requests.
D-Snuts.
Q-Man! $100 donated to the Alzheimer's Association. Just says Bears LOL.
Yeah.
Agreed. Bears LOL.
They're salty after this loss. They were ready to start dancing, Ryan.
Don't you think they should just be happy? Like
That we helped them
I
along
mean,
in their
You
quest
saw
to
progress
tank.
on your team and you got a better draft pick. You're welcome.
but also to the point, right? You see the report before the game.
Nope.
The Bears are they're sticking with Justin Fields.
He looks good today. I think he's going to be okay. I do.
I feel like Justin Fields will be okay if he gets away from Chicago,
Maybe.
or if they hire the right
just
person.
Go to another AFC team.
I
Just
just
load
like
up
how-
on quarterbacks in the AFC.
A specific Bears person in our orbit, Ryan, started to dunk mid-game on the Lions and has now tried to say, look, hey, it's an absolute win for the Bears to keep getting a higher draft pick and get closer to getting rid of Matt Eberflus.
I don't know. I feel like I should be happy with that. Your season wasn't going anywhere anyways.
Yeah.
You were competitive. You showed an ability to kind of impose your will on offense, something I don't think you've really done all that much this year anyways. You should be happy. You went toe to toe with an 8-2 football team.
This is like some my face when
Stream just
Bears
cut out
fans
again.
tried to share some of their stupid opinions with me. Like,
Why does the stream keep on cutting out?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's really annoying. The thing is, I'm not even getting any errors on my end. I don't understand why.
I'm just watching it side by side, and like when it happens, like I get the same thing where it's like there was a network error. Please try again. Click here to reload player.
I think what I need to do is reset
Is that a
Streamlabs.
Twitch thing?
I think I need to re-download Streamlabs. We're back? Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on.
I'm spamming Ryan with something. So.
Is it okay on YouTube? How we doing on YouTube? Did you
That's the one I was
experience
actually looking
any
for, Ryan,
outages
that last
on
one.
YouTube? Space Catassa stream is crap on Twitch, fire on YouTube, or fine on YouTube. All right.
Or fire, as the kids would say.
That's what I thought it said at first. All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I would like to watch at least a half of football tonight.
Well, they're at halftime, so perfect timing. Pride to Detroit POD cast. Let me start with a simple question that I can ask you guys that I think has deeper connotations to it. But I think I know where a lot of the discussion about the Detroit Lions are going to come after a game where they needed a fourth quarter rally to beat a 3-7 Chicago Bears team, which again, I feel like on this podcast, I think you know which way we're going to go with this. We've laid out all the reasons for it, but nevertheless, let me ask the question, as you look at the Lions right now, do you feel better or worse about the Detroit Lions as they look down the rest of the schedule, seeing that they may have had some more flaws poke out, but ultimately came away with this as a win?
I don't know about you, Ryan. I don't feel changed at all. This game played out relatively how I expected. I expected a close game. I expected a hard-fought game. I didn't expect the Lions to need 14 points in the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever to win it, but I don't think anything that happened today was completely strange or out of the ordinary other than a weird Jared Goff performance. I think anytime you turn the ball over 4 times, which is something this team doesn't typically do, you're going to have a tough time. So I in terms of the turnovers, in terms of Jared Goff, I have no reason to believe that is something that will be a lingering issue. And then offensively, they made plays when they needed to. And so I don't feel any better. I don't feel any worse after this game. I guess I feel better because the Lions are on the other side of another win. They're 8-2 instead of 7-3. That alone makes me feel a little bit better because I do think the Vikings are going to keep pace with the Lions, especially the way Sunday Night Football is currently going. But if you're listening to this on Monday and the Vikings lost, well then point and laugh at me. Tweet at me and just
Ignore
say,
me.
Just tweet at me the Nelson gif tomorrow morning. That's fine.
That seems fair. I think, to your point, Jeremy, I think there were some expectations that I had going into this game where I wanted to see the Lions better prepared from the jump in terms of, Justin Fields is going to be opposite of you. You know what to expect. It's not the first time that you've gone up against him. And I think that was a little deflating, and that kind of set the tone for the game. But, back to my earlier point, the Lions were up 14-10 at halftime. They came out of the half. They looked like they were, they looked like they were barreling towards controlling the football game, and then they weren't. And I think that's where a lot of the pain and concern kind of boiled and festered. You know what I mean? Like that stretch from, the Lions having to punt that football away to the things that happened afterwards, right? Because if I can kind of like, call your attention back to what happened after, it was punt, and then it was the Craig Reynolds fumble, and then it was the Jared Goff interception, and then it was a punt. Wow. And it felt like, oh my gosh, like this is the thing. These are the things that we did not want to see. But at the end of the day, coming out with a win is huge. Like you said, I guess because people had loftier expectations, and I for sure did not. You know what I mean? Like I thought this would be a closer game. I just didn't think, to your point, Jeremy, that it was going to be a game that required the Lions to score 17 points in the fourth quarter to come out and pull this game out of there. You know what?
Right.
And I think that's the point of frustration that you have with this game. But I don't want to sound spoiled or entitled. Like, Teddy will be growing up a Lions fan who has never known pain and suffering.
Right. Lions are 16-4 in their last 20.
Yeah. All he knows is privilege, Chris.
Yeah. Ultimately, and I keep trying to iterate this thing to Lions fans. Look around the rest of the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles' lone loss comes to the New York Jets. Far, far post Aaron Rodgers. The Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Denver Broncos, who we're trying to see whether or not if the Broncos are frauds or if they can maybe turn this around. They still do have a good defense, but still, like, perfectly flawed team there. The Baltimore Ravens lost to the Steelers somehow. And the Colts somehow. This is what happens in the NFL. I know we're all kind of new to this, but like I really do believe that each game is really self-contained because the words any given Sunday are not just mere words that people throw around. And demanding perfection out of the team is going to be demanding something that you're just not going to really get. Are there lessons to take away from this? Sure, we laid out plenty of them. On the other hand, it feels like this team still, like they're 8-2. All right, they're 8-2. Same, up there with, if the Eagles take a loss on Monday night, they'll be tied with tiebreaker goes to Philadelphia because both their losses would be to AFC teams. But still, that's where we're talking with the NFC right now. Like we're talking top seeding. At some point, this team will lose again before the end of the year. But right now, it's another big win to keep pace, to continue to assert dominance in the NFC North. And like, I just don't see the imminent collapse. I think we're still thinking in older terms, right, Ryan? In older, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop mentality for a lot of this team. And I hate to make it sound like I've got some ontology as far as like this team is different from the past and old and any kind of other catchphrases, but this is what happens with good teams. You get other teams throwing their best at you, especially in the division. One of my friends who's a Cowboys fan was saying, like, the Cowboys could be 16-0, and he would still fear the Washington Commanders game at the end of the year because divisional opponents are supposed to do this to you. And they, like, look, they brought Justin Fields back for this game. Clearly, there was some investment to try to win this game. And I think for the Packers coming off of a win, there's going to be some investment for them to go into Detroit on Thanksgiving on a short week and try to spoil the holiday for the Lions. And the Lions have to be ready for it.
I mean, the Lions have 4 divisional games left, right? It's not going to be easy sledding no matter what each of those teams' records are, because I think each of those teams are showing a little bit of promise in whatever ways they are. The Packers just beat the Chargers. The Bears are not going to be any easier on Soldier Field, and we all know what the Vikings are doing right now. They're on, again, send me Nelson gifts if they're not still on a winning streak by the time you're hearing this, but we know they're dangerous. And so the Lions are, here's the basic point here though. The Lions are 8-2. They're in a fantastic position so that even if they drop 1, 2, maybe even 3 games out of the remaining, what do we got left? 7? They're still, I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. They're probably still going to win the division if they go 4-3 in the final 7, they're still probably going to win the division.
They're still a 12-5 football team.
Right, which is what I predicted and felt weird predicting. They're still in a really, really good position, and we can worry about what this performance means for the playoffs, because here's what it means for the playoffs. Nothing. Like Chris said, each game is self-contained. The Lions could be a completely different team
Sunday,
defensively.
Man.
By the time January hits, they could be a different team offensively. Injuries could happen, whatever. So whatever happens today, if you want to complain about the defensive performance, if you want to complain about Jared Goff, go for it. But it doesn't mean anything going forward. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's a football team that could have C.J. Gardner-Johnson back in its secondary.
Hey, there's my next point. So CJ was turned up for this, right?
Yeah. I mean, I want to get to that, but I think the thing I want to talk about, right, is Thursday, right? There's a quick turnaround for this team, right? I mean, from the time you're listening to this, the Lions play football in 72 hours. You know what I mean? So, I almost feel like it's a good spot for the Lions to be in, where they have this game that's just, absolutely chaotic, and they pull out a miraculous victory. And then guess what? You don't even have time to celebrate, right? There's no victory Monday. We're getting right back on that horse, and we're going right back to work, because the Packers are coming to town, and the Packers aren't out of it by any means. I'm not saying for the division, but like, they're playoff hunting.
No, and even if they weren't, they'd still want to play spoiler too.
Sure, but whether or not the playoffs are realistic for them or not, I mean, they're in 8th right now in the NFC. They're 4-6. The Seahawks just lost a game. Who knows what's going to happen with the Vikings? There's a 7th seed that's going to be available, and they could be playing for that, right? Like, it's not going to be easy. But also, I mean, like, Aaron Jones got hurt in the game today, and he left. So I mean, maybe the Packers are down another important skill position player, but again, I think this kind of goes back to the game today that Lions played. It feels like a lot of people's expectations will still be the Lions should run over the Packers. They did it already once. They're a better football team than them. All that stuff goes out the window. Yep. You know what I mean? It's the point that you're making, Chris, right? It's another divisional game, and it's going to be hotly contested.
And on top of all of that, on top of that as well, if you want to talk about an important lesson coming out of the game, it's really something I didn't get to earlier, was we almost, from the crowd itself, I was wondering how the Lions fans would react if they were botching a game up that bad in Ford Field. And the boos did come out for Jared Goff around his 3rd interception. But that crowd got back into it real quick when it looked like the Lions had a shot in this game.
Honestly, the loudest I've seen it all season. It was pretty quiet all game, but towards the end, I don't know if I've heard it that loud all season. And so, I mean, and that just shows you the passion of the fans in both directions, right? Like, I was frustrated by the time Jared Goff, I think the loudest the boos got was when Jared Goff almost threw that 4th interception when Sam Laporta cut inside and he threw it outside and it resulted in a 3-and-out. But but listen, this team, as someone put in the post-game press conference, it just shows the level, the bar, how much the bar has been raised, that one bad performance suddenly brings out the boo birds, because we expect more from this team. We expect more out of a divisional game. We expect more out of a 7-2 team to take it to a Bears team that was 3-7. Now it's 3-8. That's not wrong. I don't love booing in general, but I don't blame Lions fans for booing at the time, and I don't blame them for getting as loud as they were when they needed to be.
Right. I'm not blaming them either, but I'm saying it's the full spectrum of emotion. Right. And it was, I wanted to see what happened to the Lions fans with that spectrum of emotion if it got bad, Ryan. And what would happen if they needed to come back into it. And like survey says, they came right back into it, which is good. So I think the Packers will give you quite a bit. I'm not sure how it will go. I mean, obviously we've seen them beat the Packers in Lambeau before, but it's hard to beat a team twice to multiple times in a season. Like, it's just, that's why division games are so tough, because you see each other so much.
The Packers just hung 500 yards on the Chargers, and that's exactly what the Lions did to the Chargers the previous week too, right? So they're starting to hit a little bit of a stride there, and that's when the schedule came out, that's why I was concerned a little bit about the Bears game, a little bit about the Packers game, is because they're coming late in the season. Those are two really young teams, and what happens to really young teams in December? They get better. We saw it here in Detroit last year.
Like
we
the
saw
Lions
it in Detroit 2 years ago. And so you're not catching these teams at their most youthful. You're not catching them at their most nascent stages. I like using that word for whatever on a podcast. But like now they're getting better. The division is getting better. These aren't going to be cakewalks, and it's fine. It's fine that they're going to be harder. It's fine that the lines might drop one or two of them. It's okay. Because they've built enough through the first 10 games. This is the benefit of going on a streak the way that the Lions did.
Yeah. Maybe while winning certainly is nice, Lions got out of this game without any major injuries. You know what I mean?
Fingers
Especially on a
crossed.
short week. Yeah.
You never really know until the day after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know St. Brown was a little shaken up late in the game, but we'll see how he troops that. Speaking of injury, though, speaking maybe on the opposite side of that, a reinforcement, we are now starting to look down the barrel of a potential return for CJ Gardner-Johnson, who was on a stream today just going absolutely nuts. And what was the quote, Jeremy? He's like, be ready 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, he's telling the Bears to get their S together. I'm trying to keep this a PG podcast, but he says, yeah.
Stuff.
He says, I'll be back. Y'all got 2 weeks to get y'all S together. 3 weeks to get all y'all S together. And so he's talking to the Bears, obviously. The Lions face the Bears in 3 weeks. And he seems to be implying that he might be ready by then. Although I do think that takes some
injury.
That takes some jumps in logic of what he actually said. So
okay,
he hasn't. Here's the thing that you need to know: has not returned to the practice field. I haven't even seen him in, working with trainers or anything like that. That's not to say it's not happening, but he's not doing it during practice. But it's certainly possible that he comes back. I think 2-3 weeks is probably not going to happen. I think that's. I mean, usually you'd start seeing him practicing by now. And CJ Gardner-Johnson is a guy that probably doesn't need a ton of practice to get out there. He's a veteran. He knows the system well, whatever. But like physically, he's got to get in football shape again, right? And that sort of thing, the Lions like to take a couple weeks. And so the fact that he's not even out there yet, I think people are like, oh, he's going to be there by, whatever game, both Minnesota games. I think maybe he plays 1 or 2 regular season games.
Maybe.
Could just be that they just don't. They'll either get him back for the playoffs, or they just will have to just wait till 2024 on him.
Well, hopefully not that, because we don't even know if he's going to be in Lions uniform in 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
And then like James Houston too. James Houston is a guy who was on the practice field this week. Dan Campbell kind of shot down ideas that he might be ready anytime soon too. He said late December, but could certainly use him out there. I mean, there are some quote-unquote reinforcements coming on defense, whether it is C.J. Gardner-Johnson or James Houston or
Bruce Irvin,
who I don't know what's a realistic timeline for him. He could be ready as soon as Thursday. If I had to guess, maybe they wait another week. But we'll see. I mean, there are some players coming back. And so I think there's reason to be optimistic. The Lions are still a relatively healthy team. Again, knocking on wood that nothing happened behind the scenes on Sunday, but I don't know. I feel pretty good about the team right now.
We got this all knocked down. Final word.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, we did forget one thing.
What's that?
We own the Bears.
It's true. I thought you were going to John Cena us because we haven't done that in a really long time.
Oh God, no! Please let's not. Let's leave that part of the podcast squarely in the past. All right. Once again, it's still Movember. We're gonna have the marathon stream here after the holiday on December 5th. Charities run until then. Stop by twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit. Find out more on how you can donate through Tiltify. To the Alzheimer's Association of Michigan, and visit prideofdetroit.com to find out more about to learn more. Would you like to know more? about the auctions for the Humane Society of Western Michigan as well. Do we have any more on some of the Lions memorabilia that's going to go up for auction, Jeremy?
Yes, we do. A Jared Goff signed football, an Aiden Hutchinson signed football, a Mina Kimes water painting of Penei Sewell's catch against the Vikings last year, and more.
Much more. Until that time, I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. Probably talk to you in the middle of the week, right, Jeremy? Do we have a mailbag or?
No midweek mailbag coming this week, but we are doing a First Bite Tuesday night.
Fun. And we'll see you back. I'll try to do a post game on Thanksgiving because I work Thanksgiving anyway. And we'll see you back next time on PODcast to talk about that and so much more around the NFC. Not just the NFC North, the NFC. That's what we're talking right now. Breathe it in. At Ryan_POD, at Detroit Online, at Chris Perfett. We'll see you Starside.
Recording stopped.
Hey, so the Bye Bye Barry, like, couldn't we technically do a watch party for that?
We sure are. We planned it during the men's stream, in fact. We're going to do
What's
it
this?
Sunday morning before the games.
Oh, like next Sunday.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the Bye Bye, in case you don't know, Bye Bye Barry is the documentary that was just premiered at the Fox Theater on Friday. It's on Amazon Prime, or it will be on Amazon Prime tomorrow or Tuesday or something. And because we stream live on Twitch, we won't be able to do this on YouTube. So YouTube watchers, you'll have to jump over to Twitch to watch with us because Twitch is owned by Amazon. Amazon allows us to stream on Twitch, Amazon movies, whatever. So I haven't decided quite on a time yet, but before the games on Sunday and be able to get you out before the games end or start, I mean, we'll do a live stream, a live watch party of Bye Bye Barry right here on twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Good thinking, Ryan. And you're more than welcome, and anyone is more than welcome to join us. Okay. $20 donation from the Zofi 5, maybe Zoes, says, thank you for everything you guys do. Love being able to be connected to a Lions community from down in North Carolina. Born and raised up.
No, come on and raise up.
Whatever. You thought...
If you're going to do Petey Pablo.
You thought Three Doors Down sang whatever that other song that you said was. I don't even remember. That was like 4 hours ago.
Oh, Foo Fighters, right?
Foo Fighters. Don't you correct me on my lyrics. All right. We owe you guys some things. An egg on the head. A spin on the wheel of pain. And I owe myself dinner, which is just not going to happen at this
Can I be
point.
honest? Like, I would much rather like to do on the next stream for my own egg, just because I came in and this place I'm not. It would take me a while to get stuff set up so I can take an egg to the face.
All right, I will do it. It's fine.
No. I know someone specifically wants me egged, so I need to do that. I don't want to Welsh on that, but like, I'm also tired.
All right. Let's do the spin first. Let's spin the wheel first.
Sure.
I need to add, are you willing to do the Saltine Serenade, Ryan, if that's an option? Are you
What is
sure?
Yep.
That is him
Yeah.
stuffing his face with saltines and singing the Gridiron Heroes.
Lions fight song. Yeah.
Oh, I will get some saltines for next time to do this too, because that sounds fun.
All right. I'm going to take Wasabi Spoon off because I can.
Oh,
I'm
God,
allowed to.
I don't want to think about that.
So the 5 options here are going to be pickle juice, 10 up downs, eat a bug, bean boozled, or the Saltine Serenade.
Okay. I could do pickle juice or I could do the saltine serenade.
Okay.
I pray to whatever god you believe in that it's eat a bug.
Well, we're about to find out. In 3, 2, 1.
I hate that it's like delayed on my stream, so like I can't see it until. How are you reacting? What was it?
It's one we haven't done yet.
It's the pickle juice. Okay, I'll go get pickle juice.
It's pickle juice. I will get my year-old pickle juice that people were concerned is not good still, but it certainly is. Now, this is not what I was hoping for. I'm on an empty stomach. I haven't had anything since 2 hours before the game started. Oh. Ew, it's calcified on the outside. Maybe this isn't good. Look at this. Oh, no. What do you mean rigged? Chad, are you that far behind? I need to get a different one. This one needs to be thrown out.
What's the verdict?
We're drinking pickle juice, except
God.
I found my package and it's like calcified on the outside. I'm a little
Jesus
concerned.
Christ. Oh, God.
Hold on. There's a different one. I'm going to go grab a different one. I got plenty.
Okay. No, I'll do the egg. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to Welsh on it. I am.
Yeah, that.
I think this McDouble flurry is hitting my stomach, along with exhaustion and just otherwise a very bad diet from this week. So like I'm also starting to worry about the wind. So like I'm wanting to get out of here at some point.
All right, this one is not calcified. Oh God, I absolutely hate pickles. No, Ryan didn't just quit. He's going to get pickle juice too.
Tell you what, I'm going to duck out because the wind around here is getting pretty bad. So I do want to like,
okay,
this needs time to download from the cloud and everything. So
yeah. All right, buddy.
But yeah, no, I will, remind me again next week. I'll get the, I just
do a
need to set up
post-game
a
show on
place.
Thanksgiving.
Post-game show will be on do it. There's
then.
an idea. Yeah, I'll probably be getting home around like a little bit after that game ends. Might just listen on the radio too for the final bits of it if it's not close. Oh God, you're swirling it. God.
All right.
I'll stick around for this and then I'm going to just jump.
Cheers it, Ryan.
Cheers.
Boink.
Admin says it was good. I'm sure it was. I think I'm developing some sort of lactose problem.
I hate it.
Love that. There we go. Ready?
Oh God! No! Stop it! Get out of here! No! Oh. I hate this. All right, I'm gonna go get an egg and get this dang thing over with. Oh, oh God! Smells horrible. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy.
Yeah, there's a little grit down there. Dan Campbell would be proud.
Hold on. Grit. Oh God.
The good stuff.
Oh God. No.
How much did you put in that thing? Are you heading
Not
out, Chris?
Enough. Ruby, what's up, man?
Oh God. All right, I need to listen
All right.
to Dan. You're gonna be out here. All right.
Oh wait, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
Egg on my face.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys back around for Thanksgiving. So,
All right, buddy.
be good, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Let me listen to the Dan Campbell scream. Okay.
Clip it. Please clip it.
Oh, you're gonna have to clip me doing it while I smash it on my face. All right, here we go.
Oh wow, that was Jeremy prepping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to do my research. Do my own research.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
See, the thing is that Jeremy does not like pickle juice at all. I could have had 3 glasses of that and I would have enjoyed it.
So. You're gonna get egg all over you. Now we're gonna. All right, you guys ready? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take the nice shirt off.
That was a good idea.
I don't want to dry clean. All right. For the $100 donation for 8-2 for MCDC. Gah! I forgot to take my nice pants off. Now they're covered in egg. Zazu's eating it all too. Yep. Oh God, it got in my ear.
Oh, that's not good.
All right, enough Zazu.
I wasn't even ready for it, guys. Like I
can't hear you. Hold on.
I was checking a parlay. Whew. Man. I wonder what kind of grocery store Jeremy's going to be in while he's wearing yoga pants. I feel like if he's in Walmart, he's not going to stand out. You know what I mean? I feel like he needs to go to like a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods where he will stand out.
Was that worth it, chat?
I think it was worth it. I like watching it on the replay.
Did I hurt myself?
Dude, I didn't even know what was coming. I was looking at my phone, checking out the Broncos game. But I was talking about what kind of grocery store you're going to be wearing yoga pants into, because I said it can't be like Walmart because nobody will bat an eye. You know what I mean? Like people have seen Stranger Things, right?
What's the kind of cheap one that people like a lot? Oh God, I'm still tripping.
Aldi.
That's exactly.
Maybe that might work. I was thinking more like a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's.
I might get sued in a Trader Joe's.
Oh man. Target?
I'd like to go now. Can I go now?
Yeah, I think we should go. Jeremy should be able to clean himself
I'd like
up.
to watch this game, maybe eat something, and definitely clean myself up. I'm still just dripping from my head. But yeah, someone clip that and send it to me. So I was just licking it off my pants now. We'll be back Tuesday night for Lions-Packers preview. We're going to have Dusty back. Dusty Evely, I've already set that up. Probably not going to... If we're going to do a midweek mailbag, it would come Wednesday, but I don't think we're going to do one because we're going to be so busy trying to fit everything in before Thursday. But
I hate Thursday games.
They're the worst. Should I send you guys somewhere? Is someone live? Bridget, I'm guessing, is live. I know Bridget stopped by earlier, but we were in the middle of the segment and I couldn't say anything, so...
Yeah, Bridget's live. Why don't you send... Let's go over there.
All right, we'll send you all back to Bridget. Again, she's a Chargers fan, so she might need some consoling today.
Man, poor Justin Herbert.
Did he get hurt or anything, or just you're sad because he's on a bad team?
No, you haven't. I don't think you've seen the Quentin Johnston drop. But...
Oh, on the last drive of the game, I sure have.
Ugh, tough.
The Jets have a chance.
All right, we'll play the clip real quick in case you missed it.
And I've said that too. Hauser, yep.
Oh, I gotta show. Have you seen it now? Ryan?
The Ducks play on
Me
Friday.
slamming this in my face. All right. Wait, which one? You see this one,
We'll be
right?
live all day.
Ah!
Announcement.
For 8 and 2. Hold on.
We'll be live from
Hold on.
9
Everything, hold on.
Pacific
For 8
to,
and
like,
2.
It's gonna be like Sunday. To like 9. I don't know when we'll stop. Whenever the good games end for college games.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
NFL games
For
early.
MCDC.
So. So the Black Friday NFL games early.
It's not bad.
Consider the Jets.
That was really good.
Oh my gosh.
For the $100
Yeah.
donation.
I
For 8
believe
and 2.
Oregon plays at 5.
For
my
MCDC.
time. And, maybe we should. Do
I almost spit right into the camera.
do a
Your double
24-hour
thumbs up
stream
is what
during the Black Friday
brought
and
me
Black
back to
Friday.
reality.
We'd have to, like, get crazy stuff.
All
We
right,
have to
go
do-
enjoy Bridget's stream.
yeah.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Enjoy 8 and 2 Victory Monday.
I think
We'll see you guys
there'll
soon.
be a
Bye.
way for Oregon to
Bye.
continue to play Oregon State. They're gonna do, you know what I mean? Like they'll do that. It's not.